Paranormal Podcast, where you might be crazy to some,
but you're family to us.
Hey,
what up, what up, what up?
So, as usual, I am your host, JH.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson.
This is your anchorman, Dave R. And
your repeat offender ego.
All right, and so behind me, of course, cool. We have Kevin. He's in the house here to give his insight because he like to talk about serial killers.
Oh, really?
And we also have the tropical depression, the weatherman. He controls everything right now, so we want to have a new look soon, but he's in the house.
AKA Milk Dud.
Keep it raining, keep it raining.
Right.
So today, we're going to be speaking about Sam Little, the poke and choke killer.
Poke 'em and choke 'em.
Right. Now, this guy is, so let me explain something. Through the years, there's been a lot of killers, a lot. And so it was in the 70s where the FBI began to profile serial killers.
Yeah.
So majority of serial killers were in between the ages of 35 years old, white males, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had the above average intelligence, so they can they start profiling these people, and this is kind of a way that you would see Ted Bundy, okay,
John Wayne
Gacy, and things like that. So it was pretty
Son
easy.
Of Sam,
yeah,
all them motherfuckers.
It was kind of easy to kind of profile these particular people.
Yeah.
What they never said was black. So when you first get the big outpour of this black serial killer, right? It's the guy who did the Atlanta child murders. And he was very intelligent, and he fit the mold.
And then we don't even know if he did it because it was like a...
Right, there's a whole lot of conspiracy on it, but he fits that mold. And by me saying this, and the reason why I'm glad Trent brought that up is that that you don't ever want to be wrong.
Yeah.
You've made this book about how these people think, how they are, all of these things. So if this stuff is happening, you want to make sure that that person you get fits in that mold.
Exactly.
Well, with Mr. Sam Little, he doesn't quite fit in that
down
mold.
there broke the mold.
Yeah, he changed it completely.
And it's interesting that you would bring all that up because I didn't think there were no black serial killers.
Right.
At all.
Right. I thought some black people killed some people and they was being stupid.
Yeah.
But this guy particularly was, see, when you look back at our serial killers that they let us know about, the black people that do this sick shit, they're normally on drugs.
Yeah, like the Cleveland Strangler.
That guy with next to the meat factory and shit. Yeah. Stupid shit like that. But this is a man who he don't fit that mold. Sure, he pick out the same as all other serial killers, just about people that quite don't want to be
under the radar.
Yeah.
People who won't be missed.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you go, well, Jay, there's a reason why, right? There's a reason why. Well, you have to think about everything you've been taught is wrong. And here's why. When Ted Bundy did it, he didn't give a fuck who he got. He got you. Okay, John Wayne Gacy was the same way. So later on, people start, because they didn't want to be caught, they start picking certain runaways and stuff like that, people that would not be missed. But you have to remember this. During the time of John Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy, Mr. Sam Little was killing.
Yeah, he was killing for a long fucking time, bro.
Yeah, he was already killing. You know what I'm saying? He was already killing.
He was doing it up.
Speaking of killing and so forth, he even made it to the Dr. Oz show, and it just says so on the website that, they made a brief, statement about Sam Little was connected to 60 murders, but he confessed over to 90. Well, now our sources in this group, we found out now, I think I'm going to give the credit to Kevin who found it out, that it's now up to 93 murders.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the count.
Yeah, that's the count. And
well, let me ask David. You see how mics are? Can you get your mic like that?
Okay. This is good?
no, you're a short guy, man.
Bring
Pull
it
the mic
down.
all the way down to you.
Why, thank you.
Yeah,
I
there
feel
you
like
go.
Mario.
Yeah,
No,
there
let's
you
go.
go. There you go.
Yeah, so, well, here go the thing about that. So if some of you guys are like kind of like was watching this when it first broke, right, in 2012, 13, whenever it was, they had this guy. They had him at the time over 100 kills, is what he had confessed to, over 100. But there was a reason why it's dropped down. The only reason why it dropped down was because he couldn't quite remember all of them fully.
All of them.
Right, but
And then it might have been the case where maybe he didn't want to tell about them.
it could be.
Maybe maybe it was 193.
Well, this
Yep.
is what one thing I read and it said. And I saw a little interview part. It said that those 3 that I told you were transgender.
Yeah.
It possibly that it was more transgender, but he did not want to admit to the
Yeah, I seen that
transgenders
too. I seen that
that
too. Yeah.
he possibly came across and didn't
Yeah.
know it, and end up finding it out. Like, oh shit, it's a man.
That's a
My heartfelt
possibility.
loss for
That's
those.
a possibility.
Thanks for
Right.
sharing.
So
The scary part about this guy to me, Jay, is that he reminds me of the uncle at the barbecue.
He does.
You know what I'm
Real
saying?
cool. Real
He
calm.
reminds me of that uncle at the barbecue that got something to say and everybody listened to him. He got jokes and shit.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah, he does fit the mold in that aspect.
yeah. Yeah.
He could be a serial killer, could be the person next to you or whatnot. He
Yeah.
fits that mold there.
Mhm.
Then that's kind of where it differs at for the FBI. And I know this from the way they have written this profiling situation. Yes, it does work with a lot of people, but with this guy, they're gonna have to redo it because this man wasn't as particularly educated as some were, as far as IQ. But yet, and still, he had that drive, that
Street smart, let's say.
yeah, street
Yeah.
smart, and he had a certain swab about himself that he can get away with shit,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
You want to get a look at this guy right quick?
yeah, let's just show
Go
the
ahead.
people.
See him.
Yeah.
The build, all right, except he's not white.
Yeah.
Now, when you have that in order, he just wasn't that person guy. He couldn't get his life together, so he
He
basically
was a
became
drifter.
a drifter. I was gonna
Yes,
say a
he was a
nomad,
drifter.
but yeah,
He
Yeah.
was a nomad.
right. So he moved from one place to the other. Now I'm gonna tell you this: that makes the serial killer so
much
much
harder
more.
to find.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
'Cause most serial killers, they dwell in their city or their state,
Mhm.
and they kill people in that city or state,
right,
and they end up being caught.
right,
But this guy was a nationwide killer.
correct.
Nationwide.
State to
Correct.
state.
From
He-
Houston to Louisiana to
Correct.
New York to California to
Right.
Tennessee.
To Nevada,
Ohio.
Yeah.
Arizona.
So many, like basically 16 different, places
Yeah.
and states. That is.
Yeah.
Now,
In multiple cities in those states.
right, in multiple
yeah.
cities in those states. Okay.
Or multiple areas within a large city like Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Right. So, when you compare, and I'm doing this because this is important for me. When you compare Ted Bundy traveled from one state to the next. He did do that, wherein John Wayne Gacy didn't. But this man was able to do it and do it to a point where he didn't learn from Ted Bundy. He didn't learn from John Wayne Gacy's. He had already created his own style of killing that no one knew. And you have to understand this. Right now, he's probably the most prolific killer right now, right?
He is.
He is.
The
And he-
most.
Technically,
Right.
he is
Killer
now.
Technically,
In U.S. history.
in U.S. history. But I guarantee you this: there are others out there,
Probably so.
doing the same thing he
Probably
did that
so.
has not been, caught.
Yeah.
It's
But
a
the
reason
thing-
why. It's a reason why he wasn't caught and he was able to go on for so long was because of no DNA during that time.
And then the moving
Okay.
state to state.
Yeah,
That's a
and then going
big
from
thing.
state to state.
Right.
Because you looking for this guy and he fucking already gone.
right,
You looking for him on the East Coast and he's on the West Coast
right.
choking somebody the fuck out.
Let's take a look at his street smarts. We know that he has a photogenic, or we're going to be technically correct, eidetic memory, let's say, for all these politically correct people. He also had a good sense of IQ. Jay brought it up earlier before the show, and I wanted to credit Jay for the IQ on that one. He knew, since he already was already out there, he kind of knew how to study his environment. He knew which spots, out of his good memory, which area could he do, which actions could he do, which places that they're least detectable, and that's how he was able to know exactly what place and what time he could be able to calculate his next murder. And his main target is hoes or prostitutes, because his mother was a prostitute, and he's trying to take his anger out subconsciously through these victims that seem more helpless because it's an easy target.
Can I kind of say
Go ahead.
he messed up all my stuff here, but let me explain it to you.
No, we understand.
Go ahead.
Right,
Go
right.
ahead.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I'd rather let him go.
The thing is, people, that they basically said that these guys had to be so smart. Well, he didn't have that particular IQ. Instead of him having that number IQ, his shit went way beyond that paper.
Yes, it
because
did.
this man had a photographic memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was able. Now you think about that. The man dies at 80. He
Right.
was able to recall just about 93 women throughout his span of a lifetime by drawing the pictures. Of these
After he decided to confess,
after he decided to
because
confess.
he claimed his innocence for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he was in jail, he was like, "No, I didn't do it. I didn't do
Right.
it." And I think what year was it when he finally started
I
confessing?
think it was like
2012?
no. I think it was 2016.
Yeah,
2016.
2015. I think it was 2015.
Right.
Let me
well,
go
right
check.
around 15 or 16.
Right.
Yeah.
He decided to
Just
go and come
confess.
out and
Right.
confess, "Hey, fuck it, I did it." He know he
Right.
wasn't
Right.
going anywhere. So
Right.
So the case that they had caught him for was nothing dealing with the killing.
Right,
No.
not at
No.
all. Not at all.
Drugs.
He finally just went on and admitted it. And the thing is, what I'm saying about his memory, it was this here. When David was saying he picked his spots, yes, of course, he did pick his spots. But you have to also remember, at this time in America, America is undeveloped. So anywhere you look, there was a damn field that you could dump somebody in, and no one would
Right.
find it.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean?
Especially
it
in
was
the poor,
undeveloped.
dark areas.
Well,
just-
everywhere, all over,
Yeah.
because
Just
it was
undeveloped
undeveloped.
areas.
Yes,
Yes,
undeveloped.
exactly.
And that's where he did. And then you have to remember when he does 50 years later, he's able to remember that location exactly how it was back then.
Yeah.
And when I say, well, what do you mean he remembers? What I'm saying is he's drawing a picture of a picture
From 40 years ago.
from 40 years ago,
And drawing it very well.
and very
Enjoying
well.
it
Very well.
To the
can,
point-
can we get some of them pictures up
You
there?
want to check them out right
Yeah, I
quick?
want
Yeah.
to see him. Because I know I saw a few, but
And this is coming out of this man's mind.
Yeah.
So when I say there's a certain thing about IQ, right? Because they can look like me and you, and they have to put up this facade, right? But this guy didn't make the IQ part. He shattered it because he had the photographic memory.
But the thing you're saying IQ, I don't think you have to be smart to be sneaky.
I second that. I'm just saying out of respect.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I don't
I
think
want to
you
hear
have to be
Jay's
smart to-
point.
I
to be
think you do.
sneaky and
And-
get
and-
away some shit.
And
I don't
he-
think so.
And you
I
know
think
what?
so. You want to know why? Because if you're smart enough to outthink somebody, you're smart enough to beat them.
Well,
that-
I don't. Who are you out thinking? You just
This
being
one-
sneaky.
Let me
Well,
finish.
you're also
the
using
man went
Go ahead.
50 some years
killing women.
killing people and not getting caught for that. I think
That's
that's
very
hella
smart.
smart for you to bypass all the laws.
And to be the most prolific killer of all killers.
And no DNA is there.
that is called
Well,
emotional intelligence
that's how
for
he
the
got
killer.
caught. He got
He
caught.
eventually got
because
caught
of
by the
DNA.
DNA.
Well, no, that's after
No,
he
that
confessed.
was for the drugs.
No,
right?
he got caught because of DNA. When
DNA.
when they came to his halfway house
Mhm.
and for a warrant for what was the
for
warrant
drugs
For drugs,
out of L.A.
they didn't really care about the drugs. They already had his DNA. His DNA had already matched
And it
Oh,
matched.
it
in 3 crimes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So that's how I caught. That's how they caught him.
Okay.
I don't think DNA was very. People didn't even know about
He
Right,
made a
right.
deal with
dropping DNA back
Right.
in the days. But at the same time, Jay, he did have to be smart because he didn't leave any
Well, he-
physical, really
Mm-hmm.
evidence besides the DNA.
He knew about
Right.
buttons they were wearing. He
Yeah.
knew what their clothing he remembered from way back in the day. Certain little things that he would remember that it would be too hard to remember.
Right.
I just have a problem with calling the serial killer smart.
Well, I mean,
there are different versions of smart.
Well,
He
yeah.
could be tactfully smart, emotionally smart, which is emotional intelligence.
Correct.
He could have he could be
Book smart, street smart.
exactly. You could be socially smart, and I think
Yeah.
his biggest advantage was he was socially smart because he was able to study the culture around his surroundings and take advantage of it.
Well, he
But go
was
on,
from
Trey.
that
He was
culture.
from, he was from that culture.
Where was he from?
He was
Streets.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he
from,
from
the
the
streets.
streets.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So
saying,
he
like,
he
what
knew how to.
city?
He's
we'll
from
have
Georgia.
yeah.
We'll give value that way.
We'll have that in the next
Right.
segment. But he was from the hood, so he was able to go to any hood.
and
Right.
live
And
just like
blend in.
anybody. Yes,
Exactly.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
when you say calling them, here's the thing: when you look at these serial killers, they have all been smart, and you say, I don't see what's the difference about being smart related with being sneaky. Well, here's the thing: people can commit crimes and be sneaky. That doesn't make them a serial killer. A serial killer has a cool down period. They kill, then they come back a month, two later, and kill in the same way.
But how often did he kill?
It's the same thing.
Oh, good question.
That's it.
Very often.
Yeah, very often. He had the cool down period, but still committed the crimes all in the same way. So that makes him, by definition, a serial killer. And there are people out there that are spree killers,
Yes.
and we do know that.
Well, that's just
And-
a title.
Yeah, that's a title they give them because of the action.
Yeah.
But when Trent says, I don't want to say they're smart, well, they have a cool down period. And if you cool the fuck down, and that's pretty smart because most people most people do things out of just, impulse.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, maybe the cool down period is because you've satisfied that urge.
That's exactly it.
Or it
You know
could
what I'm
be
saying?
to
So
go to
I
incognito.
don't see how that's smart. You know what I'm
Well-
saying? I just have a problem with calling the serial killer
I just
smart.
think he just
you don't
did
have to be
so
smart.
many. To have
I don't
so
know.
many
To kill
Can I-
somebody and get away with it.
93
Can I be respectfully
Yes.
to agree to disagree? I remember in the killing fields we previously talked about this, NASA engineer. He was smart, but he was calculated on, doing his same patterns over and over and over.
Did he
Yeah.
say killing?
Just like the Son of Sam.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Why did you say we had an episode about the killing fields? Then you talked about the NASA engineer. Was he in the killing fields? What
He
happened?
was. I remembered. There was a bits and pieces that I
don't remember that.
I don't remember.
that
But
we did,
okay.
but I could try to follow up.
No.
on that.
That's fine.
That's all
I just thought. Okay.
No. I'm just
But-
trying to bring some reference. in there.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying.
But make no mistake,
he
this dude was the deadliest,
of all.
Yes.
most prolific,
Mhm.
had the most victims. The Son of Sam,
Mhm.
John Wayne Gacy, Manson. He had more victims than all of them combined.
And,
It's
and when you said it, he was feeding his hunger.
Yeah, he was.
That's it.
It's
Bloodlust.
almost, it's
Go
almost
ahead.
like you're like, are we proud? Like, cause we got the best serial killer of all.
No,
Serial
we're
killers
not
being
proud.
Black.
No.
You know,
No,
Jay
no.
We
seems
got
a
the
little
black.
proud.
He was black.
well,
yeah.
no.
We
To
did
be-
the best.
I'm unproud about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, to even the odds, we have, major killers that are from London. We got major killers that are from Europe. We got major killers that are from the Middle East.
and we
just to
beat
name
them
a few.
all. He beat them all.
Oh, yeah, he did.
But I'm just saying, it's not the norm to have a black serial killer.
It's not, but
It's-
it makes
it
you
is
think
not.
Well,
now.
not that we know of.
It makes
Right.
you think now
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
hey, there-
Maybe
there-
there's millions,
there's
maybe
some
there's
other
hundreds or dozens
that we don't know
haven't
yet.
been caught.
maybe he was just special.
And that's what I was trying to allude to, that the situation is this. We see him as this way. He's changed everything. He's changed
Yeah.
the game, and
Uh-huh.
the way he was able to do it was by him being a nomad, moving. Any more people out there around his age that did the same thing,
Yeah.
murder. All right.
Maybe.
Now, I like the fact that he says he brought up the killing fields. I quite didn't get it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But the fact is that there are so many murders that happened in the killing fields that are clearly not done by the same person.
Right.
So that means that there's a lot of people out there who are killers who haven't been caught or brought to justice.
Well, is there any more killers that had a long killing span as he did from 1970 to 2005?
That's a
Good
long
point.
time.
Good
longevity.
point. Let me
Is
see
there
here.
any other killer
No,
No.
no.
I don't believe
that
it
their
is.
span of their crimes
active-
stretched that long?
Active span? No.
No, and he just
That's a
stopped.
lot, bro.
He
Yeah.
just stopped because he got old.
Yeah, that's why he stopped.
Yeah, because he got old.
Because
He,
he wasn't physically able to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's like when you have sex, right? You know, you spend your life having sex. Then you get to a point where the pills don't even work anymore.
Which pills?
Whatever pills to get your dick
the
hard.
blues.
Oh, okay. The
Right,
blues.
right. You
Let's
know,
change it back to bloodlust here.
I'm just saying
Wow.
that even in that way, you get so old that you just say, well, I'm not even worried about it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's how it is with his situation. He got to a certain age physically that he could not proceed. He didn't have that need anymore. He
And
still
then-
liked it, but he didn't have that need.
And then
And I thought I was the sick
it's
person.
interesting you would put it like that because to him, the choking was sex.
Yes.
That was
He
part
got-
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, he got sexual gratification
Mm-hmm.
from the choking.
They went-
So is
they
that
went
all he
hand in
did was
hand.
just choke?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, he had
he
sex with
choked
too.
while he was
He-
masturbating, according to the case.
No,
he
he
had
had
sex too.
no, he had
Yeah, he
sex,
had sex.
sex
he had
too.
and
sex.
then he choked him.
Then he choked
Okay.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, it
You know
wasn't
what?
no
Let me look at
masturbating,
one
no.
news source where it's a lie and say call it fake news.
Well,
Okay,
no,
that's
no.
fine, but-
The choking and masturbation part comes from transgender. Okay, but the
He
women
must
that
have
he
had
could
a hell
fuck,
of a depth grip.
the women. Yes, matter of fact, I am glad
He
you
did.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Ah.
He had incredibly large hands, and that's what the prosecutors and everything was like. Holy shit! Look at this man's hands.
Yeah.
Wrapping around one hand could touch a woman's neck like the tips, so he used both hands on top of it.
Well, Jay, I think he could probably choke D-Ray and fuck him at the same time.
No.
Oh, I know he could. I know he could.
too.
I know he could.
No. He ain't that strong.
Wow.
But you know what?
man.
I'm,
He say he ain't that strong.
I'm trying to fathom that out of all the women that he done choked and shit like that, you know, I didn't see no bruises on him or no scratches or nothing.
Well, he's 80
I mean, how
years
would you-
old, bro.
He's healed. That
He's
shit was
healed.
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am sure that those women did try to put up some fight, but remember, man,
He just overpowered him.
right? If
Yeah.
if I could take one hand and wrap it around your neck, and my tips can touch my thumbs, what choice do you what
And
do you
it's
think they're gonna do?
women. You
This
know,
is women.
And it's women. They don't have the knowledge of escaping through grapples or the strength or the speed to overpower
They don't
this
have the
person.
strength.
they got teeth.
Yeah, that's
And
all
you
you
got
had
him
to
in
say.
that.
to
And you got him in
Shirley.
that position.
Exactly.
You got him in that certain position. and
He
you,
puts
you
his
over
weight.
them, and you.
He puts his weight on
They
the
can't get
women,
out
and
of
they
it.
can't escape.
And then they wasn't even expecting this shit.
No,
from
No, they
this guy.
expect to
Nope.
just get fucked.
Right.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember, they're prostitutes. They're there, you know what I'm saying, to get their face come on or whatever. And this guy just puts his hands around her neck and said, "Thank you so much," and snap.
And never paid
know.
them.
Wow.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
a hell of a way to get turned.
I
down.
guess that's where those sick fucks from
I'm
Grand
saying,
Theft Auto
Well,
they
you-
get the idea of killing prostitutes after you pay them. Sick.
Well, you know, we laughing, telling jokes, but this was a sick motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually said, because I watched his interview, his jailhouse interviews,
Yes.
after he decided to go on and
Tell
confess.
everything.
Confess.
He said that it didn't matter how the woman looked, as long as her neck looked good.
Sexy.
So no
She had a
fat women,
sexy
no
neck.
no fat necks.
Right.
You know
No
what I'm saying?
muscular women.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
She said he said if you had a sexy neck, that's what turned him on.
no old nicks.
No, and he would actually choke these women sometimes,
Mhm.
and he would actually let them get a little breath
Right.
just so that Adam's apple would move.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that turned him on.
Okay.
That is some sick
and he
sexual
would
fetish.
go in for the kill.
Well, you know what? Hey, look, guys, I'm not trying to condone it, but here's the thing. He liked necks, just like Quentin Tarantino likes feet. People have weird things that
Real
get them
fetishes.
There you go.
Yeah.
get them going.
And then he said he developed it as a child.
Yes.
He developed this fascination with women's throats
He
and
would get
necks
turned
as a
on.
child.
Okay.
Maybe
Look,
it's through
And
his
then
mother's
Jay,
image.
before
Who
you
knows?
deliver, let me tell you that he said he thought that he went too far with it. You know, before he started killing,
Okay. I was just like,
Before
damn, he killed a whole
1970.
lot of them.
he,
Yeah.
he
Before
said he
1970.
let his fascination with necks. That's crazy. Fascination with necks get too far before he checked it, and then it turned into his first kill.
He
and
would
it was-
tried
and it
a little bit
And it was
before
on
1970,
when
like,
after he done his first
Okay,
kill.
having sex
okay.
and rub around their neck.
Okay, everybody, please. Let me. I want to
All
ask
right,
Prince this.
go ahead.
Please explain to me what do you mean he let it go too far before he put it in check? I don't understand that. Like,
Well, just say he knew that shit wasn't healthy.
So he
Being
consciously knew.
attracted to necks, he consciously knew that this being attracted to women's throats wasn't healthy at all.
So it
and
was,
he felt like he could have checked it. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, he felt like he could have checked it, but he didn't,
He didn't.
and he let it
and once,
progress.
And
to
once
murder.
he got the first kill, there was,
First,
it was no
a-
going back.
There was no going back after that.
Okay.
it just became a habit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pandora box was open.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys at home, so we're talking about Mr. Sam Little. Okay, he is a serial killer, and he's killed at this point 93 people, making him the most. But he's only confirmed as of now. They're still confirming more,
Yeah.
but 60
Yeah.
as of right now. But I tell you what I'd like you to do is like, subscribe, sorry, and share. To me, that's like a tongue twister, right?
I know,
You
right?
Please
Scribe.
comment too.
You know, and we'll be back after the next segment to give you more about Mr. Little, okay?
Oh yeah.
And we're out.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello, my name is Robert Richard, and I'm the host of an exciting new show called What's That Net Worth, where you and the contestants guess the cash flow of the most popular celebrities around today for cash and prizes. I want you to go to Ego Network TV on YouTube to watch the show. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram at ego_network_TV. I'll see you there.
Back, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
So, we've been talking about Mr. Samuel Lillard.
Little.
Sam Little.
And there's nothing little about the guy, so don't.
Yeah, he's a big old black motherfucker.
Yeah. You know,
Give
he
another
did-
picture.
go. Yeah. Okay. So this man was ruthless. And the thing about it was, you know, the joy that he got out of it doing an interview. You know,
This is according to Jillian Lauren.
can we show the people the interview? How
Well, let's not get into that one. That
Oh.
yet. What do you say according to
Well, I think from thegrunge.com.
your mic, David?
Mike. Here. All right. Here it is. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
it's not technical. This is
Yeah.
not technical at all.
All right, fine. Stage issues. Anyway, back to the point. When serial killer Sam Little was alive, he was speaking to the journalist Jillian Lauren, and she had to kind of bribe him with candy bars and snacks and so forth. And yes, Jay, you were right. He did took great pleasure and joy in going through all the details, what he did to the victims. And she did write in numerous interviews in a book called Confronting the Serial Killer on April 18th.
Oh wow.
At one point, Lauren puts out in the cut, he made encounters as slow and as long as possible, as often as letting victims repeated regain conscious. I think you and Trent, you've already discussed about this. I'm going to try to move forward to this. This data has been fast forwarded to the FBI. He did avoid conviction or eluded capture due to less than stellar investigate for work of sex worker homicides, moving a lot more fast forward.
Well, yeah, I mean, this guy was
He did
A
treat
sick,
her. He did treat her
slick-
with respect.
He left everything to
sick
her. You know
and
that.
slick
He-
motherfucker.
He,
He
was,
was.
and you guys at home. So, if you ever, if some of you sloths or sleuths or whatever you want to call it out there, are into disappearing people, people that disappeared, stuff like that, you need to know that this man did it in Connecticut, Ohio, Cleveland, Los Angeles, California, Odessa, Texas,
Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Florida,
Houston.
Homestead, Florida, Miami, Florida. Just so many different
He
places.
was
Maryland.
everywhere, bro.
Yes, and so
This guy was cocky too. He laughed and he shadow boxed, mocking punches towards to the interviewer, Jillian Lauren herself too.
right,
Oh wow.
So just know that a lot of there's so many people that disappear, and people are looking for them. This guy most likely is responsible for
For a
a small,
whole-
a small percentage of those people. This one man. So
You said he's responsible for a small percentage of what?
of their cities missing.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was one thing that stuck out to me. It was a few things that stuck out to me in the interview, where he likened these women to fruit that he was picking.
right. That's what I was saying.
Succulent.
Yeah,
Feeding his hunger.
yeah.
Feeding
So-
his hunger.
So let's go ahead and play that.
All
play
right,
that little
let's go
clip
ahead.
Where he's likening these women.
Viewer
to
discretion
fruit.
advised.
Yeah.
They didn't know who the hell was doing it. Yeah. I don't go back to the same city sometimes and pluck me another grape. I said, how many grapes y'all got on the vine here? Ooh,
Sure.
That one right there.
There's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take
that's a
that.
good one.
So basically, these were women nobody would miss.
Wow. That is
Dang.
incredible.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
like
grapes.
it's like
Yeah.
it's his opportunity and his toys that he's just playing with. He has
Yeah.
no remorse that they are people with feelings.
They're
Yeah.
fruit.
Yeah, he seemed
Exactly.
like, and then it seemed like he was having fun, reminiscing, like he was reminiscing
He-
about
Yes,
the good old days.
times.
Right.
The
He
good
nar-
old days.
He
Yeah.
narrates like, it's a happy time when
It was for him.
it was for him exactly, but it wasn't for the audience.
You know when they say making America great again? That's what he was like.
Oh,
he was acting.
Oh wow.
Wow.
He was making Mississippi great again, huh?
Well, when he gave that he was very happy. He was reminiscing about the old times. The times when things weren't so complicated. When
Right.
there wasn't DNA forensics
Yeah, all that shit.
and all the people coming together to stop us.
Plus, you didn't have the internet to trace the
Right,
details,
right.
too.
When I say us, is because I'm speaking in the terms of serial killers in general.
Right.
That they could just pick up people and saw a nice victim, this woman with a thumb. Because believe it or not, guys, I know for you younger generation, you won't believe it, but people used to get around the city. It was like literally they were saying, "Here, come kill me." No one gives a shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's-
but as
But
many
you-
people
you know
didn't
what?
get killed back in the days. I think motherfuckers like him fucked it up for normal, regular people.
Like how?
I think
why do
so.
you think? Why do you say that?
Because it shouldn't be no reason I shouldn't be able to stick my thumb out and get a ride down the street.
Back
Or
in the
you
day,
should. People like this fucked it up for
See-
regular people.
See nowadays,
I
you
can
I
see
gotta-
mean,
the
just
social
like back,
psychology
just like
aspect.
back in the days, you could pull up on side a girl, talk to her, get her phone number, maybe holler at her later.
Yeah, I see your point.
Right now, you got killers, so now they fucking scared of everybody.
Yeah.
see,
Well,
but
it's
nowadays,
almost like you have to reassure them. Look, you're clean. You have to kind of comfort them and just to have a conversation. Yeah, thanks a lot, Sam Little.
I know,
no,
right?
it ain't even that. It's nowadays they gotta stick their thumb out and they ass out the other way for the
Okay, Kevin, you go along with the thumb sticking fetish.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
joking. I'm joking.
I guess in that way we have to make things a little different. That was at that time of getting a ride. Okay.
Yeah.
And today the sticking the thumb out, sticking the ass out, the whole thing is now has now jumped onto Instagram models.
Well, I don't even think the thumb would get a rise. You probably just have to stick the ass out.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's how
it would be
everything
more
has
like
changed.
a Tinder way to do it.
Right. With social media now, these girls are doing this, and what they're asking for is a ride, and that's how easy it is to pick up these women and continue this particular art, form.
So
of
Sam
murder.
Little probably would have a field day today.
Correct.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? All these Instagram
Jay,
models and shit.
you said this shit was art.
Okay, it is an art. And I say this as in.
A form of practice, let's say.
Yes, a form of practice. As a serial killer, the thing about being a serial killer is they take it as an art. It's a way of life for them, and the most beauty is how you conduct it, how you do it, how you pull it off.
How efficient you pull it off.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't
can
know.
see what you're saying now.
Right.
I don't know if this guy thought about it like that because I looked at his interviews. He was like, he said he didn't like blood.
Okay. Which
You
is
know
why
what
he
I'm saying?
choked and not use a knife.
Yeah, that's why he choked. He said it was only one victim that died from not getting choked. It was one victim that they was at a lake or something. He ended up drowning her.
That was
And
the
that's-
only one.
Yeah, and that's because she was fighting back or something, and he had to drown her on the spot.
He never wanted to shoot him or knife him or anything.
Yeah.
He just always just wanted to choke him.
He said, this is his words. He said, if I couldn't do it with my hands, I wouldn't have done it.
Because it's no fun.
Yeah.
Well-
so I think his was all sexual.
This explains his,
His was all pure sexual.
All up in the neck.
Yeah, like he was busting the nut when that neck.
And it was a hunter. He was a hunter.
yes,
Yeah,
He was a hunter.
yeah,
a predator to
yeah.
be exact.
He was. Yeah.
That's
The
crazy.
thing is that with no weapons, no trace, that makes him a more of a perfect murder every time.
And then you know what else got me, Jay?
What?
He said that none of the women died hating him
What the?
What the fuck? How he know?
because he built like a trust. He made the women trust him.
So
He said most of
Okay.
the women died loving him.
he took some of them out to eat and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to explain that one. So, when you have this woman and she's she's absolutely terrified of you, right? It kind of takes some people get off on the control of terror. Then there's some that want to get off on the what's
Art
the
of
word?
deception or
Right,
element of
right.
surprise.
Deception. So therefore, they calm the victim. They're nice to the victim. They're sweet to the victim. They buy him things. They let him know, I really like you. You're my special person. And this person starts letting their guards down, their fear down. Call me by my real name because the way they have it, the FBI. They said if you are ever captured by one of these people, say your name. Let them know you're a person, right? Well, that's bullshit because they'll let you know their name and they like you and they're sweet with you just for you to feel cool. Even when they're raping you, all right? Stockholm Syndrome, for example, once they do this, it's on. And they will kill you. For example, I'm sorry. I was say one example is Ted Bundy broke into the woman's house and told her, "Please be quiet. If you don't be quiet, let me just rape you. Then I won't kill you." So the woman said, "Okay," and he did that. And guess what he did afterwards? He said, "Why would you listen to me? I broke into your house, you stupid bitch," and he bashed her head in and killed her.
Well, this guy's victims were totally different, I think, because it was no clue that he was gonna do this beforehand.
None.
Right.
Well-
right.
So it was like, I love you, I love you, I love you,
Yeah.
bitch. I'm killing you.
Right.
I'm
But
treating
everything
you nice.
that he
You know
was
what I'm
doing,
saying?
Well,
all the
also-
sexual capades,
Mhm.
they was consensual.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it wasn't
Consensual.
rape.
Consensual.
All
Right,
of 'em.
right, right.
And,
Not
and
the-
don't
Right.
and don't forget they were naive too, so that makes an easier target for them.
Well, they wanted someone to love them. They were prostitutes.
Exactly.
Well, they were
But
And this
see,
They had
guy-
low
they was all
self-esteem.
on drugs.
They
So
were high
Yeah.
on drugs, low self-esteem.
Some
If they
prostitutes,
had some
some drug
strong
addicts.
figure they could confide in, that's who they can drop their guard
And
on,
then
and
some
he
of-
took advantage.
Some of them thought they was just getting a ride. Some of them thought they were just partying.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know, because he would drive around to different cities and states, and he would go to the hood and go to the juke
Yes.
joint. He'd see that woman dancing on the floor, that party girl.
Uh-huh.
You know
That
what I'm
lonely
saying?
woman by
And-
herself.
Yes, and she would be the one that would want it to continue the party.
The whole.
Right.
You know what I'm
and,
saying?
and this all starts from the programming of women. And what I mean by the programming of women is you as a mother or society has taught this young girl that life is like Disney. So therefore, there's going to be a sweet prince come and take you away. You understand what I'm saying? And make your life better. So when this woman is dancing on the floor in front of these men and this guy approaches her and he's being really nice and sweet, it's almost like, come, let me take you away from this. And her guards go down.
Well, let's show this video about this one woman.
Go
in
ahead, go ahead.
In particular, I thought it was real intriguing. You know what I'm saying? What he said about her. So
Okay.
let's
Yeah.
just play that.
Little skinny black girl, real friendly. She was laughing while I was killing her.
Just like that, with no remorse.
Did you see his face and what he
They
said?
say
Yeah.
she was laughing. She was still having a good time while he was killing her.
She was having a good time partying while he was killing her.
Well, you know,
But his face, did you see his face
Yeah.
when he
just-
said that?
Yeah, he didn't
He
care.
must have had a hell of a Mac game to pull
Mac
all
game,
the women.
yeah, some
you know what I'm
Mac.
saying?
Well, I see. Well, you seen his younger picture. He was
Right,
a
he was a good-looking
handsome
guy.
young man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he probably didn't have a problem
Getting women.
getting women. You know what I'm saying? They get in the car, and that was
But you ever think about this too? You know, some women like to be choked a little bit while doing sex.
And I was finna, you know,
maybe,
I was finna bring that point up.
maybe they're thinking
say,
that
nowadays
hey,
they like to get
once
choked.
he started choking me a little bit, this is feeling good. Ooh, asphyxiation. Ooh, ooh. But then this motherfucker just like
Going
clamp that
too
bitch
far.
down and just
Continue.
You know what, Ego? I never thought about
Yeah.
that because I done had women
like to be
that
choked a little bit. Yeah.
wanted me to
Wanted to
choke
get-
them and
Yeah.
pull
Get
their
choked.
hair
Yeah.
and shit like
And that's
that.
what they're thinking, and
Yeah.
and that's why it's so easy because, like I said before,
And he like,
some of
bitch,
the-
I'm going all
No,
the way
you gotta-
in.
Yeah.
You got
Gotcha,
some
bitch.
of the women he met, and when he meet them, he took some of them. I told you out to eat some
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
And so they were hoes on the street or hoes in the club, whatever.
yeah.
And so they're like, oh, okay, this is nice looking guy. He's real nice and everything. And then they want to give him the box.
He wanted
Yeah.
them
So,
to feel comfortable.
But while he's
sitting
getting
around.
while he's getting that box and he's sticking it in and giving it to them, and he starts playing around their neck and starts squeezing their neck, they're like, "Oh yeah, daddy, squeeze my neck."
Yeah.
But they don't have any idea that he's gonna kill him.
That he's
That's why a
gonna
woman was still
squeeze that
laughing
motherfucker
because
like
she
a
probably liked a
pimple.
little
that's
asphyxiation.
why she probably died loving him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why he
He
probably
was
did
giving it
that.
to her, and he was giving her asphyxiation.
And let me tell you that Trent said he had girls that wanted to be choked, have their hair pulled. That is why I have always told women, or in my mind told myself, that when a woman say, "Jay, I want you to do this to me," I'm like, "You don't know the fuck you talking to." I fuck
Wow.
around and do that shit and fuck around like it too much, and your ass murdered. I mean, you get what I'm saying? I don't want to
No.
even go that direction because I do know that there is a chance that I'll be sitting where he's sitting, where he was sitting, going, "Well, yeah, it was back in 1985, and I did." I don't want to be that person.
Well,
You'll choke him and get an
that's
erection.
like a PSA. Anybody dealing with Jay, be
Watch
careful.
that nigga, man.
Be careful.
excuse my language.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I know you women say y'all want these things, right? But I think you want these things because you've seen them on television. Just do normal shit because you never know. You might be fucking with a Sam Little.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't
The
blame
shades
it.
of gray.
You can't blame the women because we all have different things that we like, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because I like certain things about women. I like women with pretty shoulders. I like pretty feet, but I'm not going to choke their feet or chop their fucking feet off or nothing, you know what I'm saying?
I like women with
Put
hair
'em
on their
in a
legs,
headlock.
and I will rub the hair.
And
you
I
know what
told
mean?
you that was like manly.
That's not manly. I don't
It
think.
is.
I don't think it is.
Men have hair on their
I mean, that's fine.
Their legs.
I don't care. I mean, men have the human people have hair all over, so
Yeah.
I just like it on their legs.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
that means
Jay likes manly legs.
No, I don't like
Yeah.
manly legs. I just
That
like.
mean he'll help them trim their mustache.
I know, right? I know, right? I
Goonie
know,
goo
right.
goo.
That was was cool back in the days, but
Yeah.
2021, no, shave your goddamn legs.
Well, there is an origin story how his sick fetish of his erection due to killing started.
His erection.
Yeah. Okay, guys,
Far as killing.
this is for psychological reasons. If you're disgusted, please cover your ears for whatever reason. But I'm doing this for science.
Give it
Okay.
to him.
Although he wouldn't commit his first murder, and this is based on Oxygen.com, until he was 29, the little strangulation fetish went back to his childhood. He told investigators when he got his first erection while watching his kindergarten teacher touch her neck. And that is when he was a teenager. He pinned a photograph on a true crime magazine of a
killed it.
female strangulation victim to his bedroom wall, reported in the Los Angeles Times. Back to you guys.
Yeah,
You killed that.
kindergarten.
You
He's
found
a
that.
good
That was
Nick.
cool. So he got his sick fascination with throats by watching his teacher.
Rub her.
She
Rub
had
her
a pretty throat. Wow.
Yeah, 13
Pretty
years
nice
old.
So
neck.
is that how shit happens?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, when I was in church,
Stop,
and I
Jay.
saw
Stop.
this-
Stop.
Don't do
What?
it.
Stop.
No, it's not bad. I'm just
Stop.
saying.
Don't do it.
No, that
Don't incriminate yourself.
No, I'm not
Okay.
incriminated.
Okay, go ahead.
That's when I saw this woman. She was.
I'm gonna get you.
No,
She
I mean,
rubbing her legs.
no, and she had these stockings on, and she had hair, and I saw how that was done. And bro,
You can see half of them black stockings.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That was a
And-
lot of hair.
And I had got an erection, and I was like,
You
what the
should have
fuck?
wasn't a dude, man.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
man.
dude.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
man.
dude.
No,
You
that's
sure?
That's what the altar
Wow.
ladies.
I'm sure.
This is what it's called, a complex version of the Oedipus complex.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah,
Jay.
I'm just saying these things do start
Yeah.
when you're young.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
What is the Oedipus complex? Ain't that
Oedipus
when they
complex-
love their mother too
Damn, I
much?
hope not.
Exactly. Okay.
I would just try to ignore
it's somewhere
that.
I
around
know,
that,
right?
Kevin. Thank you for asking. I'll debunk more into this one. An Oedipus complex could be an older woman. It could be. It's a subconscious thing for young boys to have this natural slight infatuation, with the teacher, the mother, or a mother-like figure
Well, I
that
don't think
they
that's a
idolize,
complex.
to their
Older
so that
women
when they
look
later
nice.
on when they start growing older, they're looking for that similar type of features in the woman to do that. This is based on psychology. You can try to look it up, Google it, whatsoever. You guys can look it up yourselves.
Did he answer your
Okay.
question, Kevin?
He did.
Who?
He did.
Did he answer your question? Did he
He
answer
did.
your-
Yeah, no,
He
I already
did.
knew what it was, but I just
He
wanted him to
didn't know
bring
what
it
the
out.
fuck it
Yeah, I
was.
was. Didn't you see the movie Baby Boy?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
said,
didn't.
"Oh, you got an Oedipus complex. You want your mama to be your girl, but that's my girl."
He damn
Wow.
sure.
So
Ving
Okay.
Rhames
Yeah,
told
sure
you.
did.
You sure
Yeah,
right.
you
You
sure
sure
right.
right.
Yeah, you
I'm
sure
just
right.
doing my job as the facts guy, just presenting facts.
older
You
women
do
look
whatever you
nice.
want to do.
Well, can
To an
I?
older man.
Older women look nice.
Well, can I
To
say
an
one
older
thing?
man, not a
What?
young.
Older man?
I
I'm not
don't-
going there.
Yeah,
To older men?
yeah. I mean, like people in y'all age range might find an older woman attractive, but somebody like me, I wouldn't.
You lie.
You a fucking
No,
liar.
no,
You
no,
lie.
no,
You
no.
lie.
He's
Fucking
just
lie.
stating his opinion. He
No.
has
That's
a
just
right.
my opinion.
No, this has been
He has
over.
the right.
This is
Yeah.
all life, bro.
Yeah.
You look at an older woman and like, damn, she's that old, but that been fucking sexy. There's something about
Yeah.
her. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
yeah, that is-
when that
No
man,
matter what age she
right?
is.
When that man looked at these women, he didn't even look at the age. He looked at what attracted him. That neck. You understand what I'm
Exactly
saying?
what I was trying to
Yeah,
say.
bro.
Go on. Preach,
Right.
preach, preach.
You know,
What about the back?
He look at that.
He didn't
My
like the
neck.
neck. He saw the
My
neck.
back.
Right.
He said he
You know what
didn't
I'm
care if it
saying?
was ugly. He didn't care if it was ugly, pretty, or what. But can I
Right?
say this one
No,
thing?
but
though?
long as the
Yeah, let
neck
him-
was pretty though. The
Right.
neck had to be pretty.
I want to talk about that. He had a girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
he
Girlfriend
did.
from
Partner in
1971
crime.
to 1988, and she really wasn't a partner in crime. She
was older. She was an
even
older
though
woman.
She was
was.
like 30 years older, and
Yeah.
even though they were like Bonnie and Clyde, like you said, like a partner in crime.
Uh-huh.
The thing about her was that during the daytime, she would steal. She
Yeah.
would go and boost.
Yeah.
She would run
Shoplift.
scams.
She
and
had
stuff
no
like
idea
that.
about his
No,
killing.
and she had no idea. But he never tried to kill her.
No, but
and that was his actual girlfriend.
and
For-
she
Didn't that-
financed his
Yes.
from
ability.
1971 to 1988.
She
Right.
financed his ability to move
To move
from
around.
state to state.
Yes.
Do we have a picture of his girlfriend?
No, we
No,
don't.
no, we
don't.
don't.
No picture.
Now, here go the
Her
thing.
name was Dorsey.
Here go the thing
Dorsey,
about here go
thank
the
you.
thing about his girlfriend. The thing about her was this here. He needed an alibi when he committed crimes. And it wasn't killing, it was petty theft and different things like that when he would go to court. This older woman come in there and she's, perfectly
What?
this older woman would come to court to be his alibi. And when she spoke, when she would speak, and everyone was like, "Oh, he was with her." Okay, and that's how he got off on a lot of different petty crimes.
Okay.
It was like 100 times he was arrested.
So you saying alibi for the petty crime?
But it was petty
not,
crimes.
not for the
not for the murder,
not for the poke and
murder.
choke.
No,
And he
He
got
was
off every
arrested.
time.
He was arrested like 100 times.
yeah.
right. But I think he was.
And he only served like
10 years.
10 years total.
Right. He had been convicted or whatever of 66 crimes. They were petty in multiple states, in
Yeah.
11 states,
Yeah.
And
Okay,
he-
this what I want to know real fast.
Mhm.
Once he choked him out and got his fantasy on his erection or whatever and stuff, did he dispose of the
He
bodies?
just
or
dumped
left
Yeah,
them
of
there?
He
course.
had
Dump
He-
him in a field.
he clearly
okay.
got rid
Yes.
of him. Yeah.
Got rid of him somewhere. He threw
Like-
one in a pig pen somewhere. Like
Yeah, like Jay said, it was a lot of undeveloped country and territory back in the day. So it was like, okay, hey, vegetation.
Right.
It was,
his
one
spot.
instance where he actually had got caught with a dead body in the car.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
He,
Sure did.
He was
Sure
lucky
did.
a
Yeah.
few times.
and the police walked up.
In
Yeah.
Florida.
They
I think it was
shot
in Florida.
Yeah,
Was it in Florida or California? I think it was in
That
Florida.
was in Florida.
one was
Okay.
in Florida and one was somewhere else. He told
Okay.
two different stories to where the cops actually pulled up where he had
Okay.
a body in the
See-
car. And Kevin brung it up too soon, so I guess we might as well run
Might as
that
well
bit.
run into it.
No, well, we have one more segment. You
Yeah,
wanna
that's
bring
what
up
I
in
know.
there?
Yeah.
I'll just give you the one that he's not, I guess, fully talking about, and it was really messed up because he was actually had his hands around the girl's neck, choking her.
Yeah.
And while he was doing that, he was almost about to snap her shit, and a
Assault charge.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
that-
one of the assault
Oh,
charges he
okay.
caught.
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So the policeman took him in.
And I was gonna ask, how many people was it? Anybody that got away from
Yes, that particular
Was
lady.
there? I didn't
Yeah,
find that.
she,
That one got
because-
away, yeah.
she got away, but she didn't know. He told her that he was going to kill her, and he was trying to at that time. Just when the police pulled up,
But he had
Okay.
some assault charges against him. So
Right.
those are probably the ones that got away.
That's it.
Probably
That was
fought
the
him and
assault
got
charge.
away
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Right, and the thing was how he got away from that situation with that particular girl. What Ego just brought up was this: when the women came to the court, they were high. None of the shit they were saying was on point.
Oh,
and-
wow.
They didn't,
and
it
then-
wasn't good
Right.
witnesses or,
Correct. And then he's sitting there talking, and he's being, very smooth.
he talks good.
Right, and
Like-
then his girlfriend comes up, an older woman, as the alibi who speaks perfect and everything. He just gets is their word versus this prostitute that's high on drugs.
Right.
Wow.
He
But
speaks very
when
well.
people go through stuff like that, they need something to clear their mind. So
Yeah, I mean I know, but I'm just saying how he was able to get accused of these things and walked away from it
Okay, so they say he stopped killing in
2005.
2005
Mhm.
because of his age.
70.
Do y'all believe that?
Yes. In Crime News or Oxygen.
Well, I know you believe it, but I'm talking about it. Do you believe it, Jay?
Yeah.
Do you believe it, Ego?
Yeah, I believe it. I believe his bones started aching, and he was like, "Fuck that shit. I can't do this shit no
Okay,
more."
and I didn't mean to cut you off, David, but according to what?
According to Oxygen.com and Crime News, it does confirm it. So I believe you.
Well,
Okay.
but that's him saying it though.
That's
I don't
what I'm
believe-
saying. I'm
But
asking, do you believe it?
Yeah, he might
don't
didn't.
believe it.
He
Okay.
might didn't, but I
Restart.
believe it.
Do I believe it without this reference? Yes.
Okay, okay.
And here's the reason why I do believe it. The man was able to recall all these things.
All these
Yes.
murders.
Right. So he would definitely recall the day he stopped.
Yeah, he was able to draw all these.
It's 2005.
But that's probably what he wanted the DA and the prosecutors to think. You know what I'm saying?
No, he
No,
didn't care.
he
He
didn't
was
care.
just,
He
he
finna
just
die.
told everything.
He was already
he-
in
you know,
there. Yeah.
was in there. He
Once
finna
he
die.
got committed for murder, he signed something with the DA or whatever. And he said, "I will tell you everything as long as you don't give me the death penalty."
and how much time did he get?
well, he had 3 life sentences going on with no possibility of parole.
Uh-huh.
So, so he
wasn't
told
going
everything
nowhere.
freely.
Yeah.
And so that's why he enjoyed telling, because it was no repercussions. He's already going to die in jail.
Right.
So let me just tell you my stories. Let me get famous. You know what I mean? Let me just indulge in what I love to do. And that's choke necks.
Wow.
And
That's
fuck.
incredible.
And
Poke
fuck.
and choke.
Mm-hmm.
He made a hell of a
Poke and
legacy
choke.
for himself.
Well, we already discovered too in his youthful life and in his teenage life that he also committed, battery assault, and he actually had a drive for doing that too. There's also cases where he did do armed robbery in his 20s as well. I'm just trying to
He did a
throw
lot
it
of
out there.
crimes.
Yeah, he did.
He did a lot of
was a
crimes.
repeat offender.
He had
Go ahead.
100. He had been arrested 100 times.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. In 11 different states.
Yeah.
And, and charged with 66 different crimes through 11 different states.
Wow.
So, and they was all petty bullshit. That's the thing.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
They
but
didn't even know. Just think, if they would have said, you know what? I think something wrong with you. I'm gonna lock your ass up.
they
For real,
probably
for
could
real.
have saved a
They
lot
would've
of
saved a
lives.
But
lot
I'm
of
thinking
lives.
no
Yeah.
database.
There wasn't.
Yeah,
no
it
real
was.
database of if you've been did all these crimes over here and now I got you over here and you do this somewhat petty crime or somewhat almost a felony crime, well then you might keep it in jail 30 days,
Yeah.
whatever. Then I just let you go.
He was also smart too about trying to repeat the crimes and so forth. Because back at the time in the 70s, 80s, and partially in the 90s too, some of the state laws didn't reinforce criminal records for life until it got to the mid 90s.
That's true. And
So he was
like
able
I
to
said,
take advantage.
He's a fucking sick motherfucker. But
He was.
what we gonna do right now? We gonna take a little break. Before we do though, we want to let y'all know that, like Jay says all the time, the lights are getting a little dim. We can use a little assistance. If y'all like what we're doing and want to support us, please send y'all donations to $DSB Media on Cash App. We appreciate anything you can send. If you have a show idea, you want to be on the show, you can send us an email at urbanparanormal13@gmail.com. And we'll be right back after this.
Hey.
Hello, my name is Robert Richard, and I'm the host of an exciting new show called What's That Net Worth, where you and the contestants guess the cash flow of the most popular celebrities around today for cash and prizes. I want you to go to Ego Network TV on YouTube to watch the show. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram at ego_network_TV. I'll see you there.
Hey guys, we're back. So, we're still talking about Mr. Sam Little. There was so many layers, you know, to this man's
Like an onion.
Yeah,
Peel them hoes back.
Peel back the
right,
layers.
to this man, you know, personality, his everything about him, you know.
He's
and
very charismatic.
I mean, you know, in the 70s, this was a time, and the 60s, 70s, it's a time for carefree. People had free love. People,
70s, 80s,
people,
90s.
Well, yeah, people had free love, different things of that nature. They did drugs, from disco, from so-called hip-hop to hitchhiking, all of these different things. And the fact that cities did not work with other cities as in a computer database that connected the two.
Well, technology had to catch up.
Yeah, they did. They had to catch up.
You know what I'm saying?
So, and that changed everything. So at this time, this was a time where it was easy pickings for people to snatch people, to do all these different things, you know. And to be honest
Poke
with
and
you,
choke.
yeah. And to be honest with you, I am surprised. I am honest to God surprised that they're not more.
More what?
That DNA haven't been haven't
Oh,
uncovered more
victims. Yeah,
serial killers and stuff like that.
Well,
That's
they still trying to connect them to a lot of in different states. They're still trying to connect them to a lot of shit.
yeah, I think they're just moving at slow pace, slow
Yeah.
bleeding, because
They are.
you know.
I don't think it would be a slow pace. I would think about them having to find the bodies.
Well, they
Oh.
probably already have the bodies, but they don't know who killed them,
right.
what happened. They trying to connect this guy to those bodies.
And which makes it incredibly difficult because they have to go through files and files of missing persons reports. Now, the
Shit, he
kicker,
might.
well, the kicker of that is very big. So you guys at home know this, right? So just pay attention. This is Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
So it's no big deal. This is a big city.
He had one known victim here.
Right. So, but this is a big city. So back at those times, people would take the files and they would do data entry. So they would enter those files. But at smaller towns such as Waco and different things of that nature, oh no, they didn't put those in data entry. Smaller little country towns around the United States, they didn't do that. Only the major cities. So there are a lot of missing people, right? That was filed missing that they still haven't had in the computer. So that makes it even harder to figure out.
You're
you know?
right. You're
Hey,
right.
can I ask y'all this?
Yeah.
Have anybody did any research on how long them interviews with him was? Like
They were
did
very long.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a maximum of 650
Maximum.
hours.
Okay.
Maximum. Thank
so
you.
did they
Maximum
finish?
of
No, I'm about to
650
ask.
hours. Go ahead.
Did they finish the interview with him? Because it could be possibly more people that he couldn't admit to because he died.
Oh,
Now
No, he talked about all of
Yeah,
them.
he talked about all of them that he wanted to confess to,
mhm.
and like David said earlier, there was one to three that were transgender women,
Right. And it could have been more that he didn't know.
and they were saying that there were possibly more transgender women that he didn't want to admit to because
I know it was
because
ego.
they were
Yeah, he
transgender
knows.
and
It's
he
okay.
didn't want to be seen as gay.
Right.
So it's possibly more male victims.
Right. And see that, and that's a good thing
Yeah.
that Trent is saying, you know, because you have to think of like this here too. At that particular time in life too, the homosexual thing, there was a lot of homophobic. No one wants to be associated with that at that time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of hate going toward there. So how many people did he just see passing down the Detroit Strip, right, and know that that's a man, and say, you know what, yo ass, come here, you know,
Your neck look tasty too.
Okay.
Right.
Your neck look good.
right, and he did that. He
Let me
did that
see your neck.
solely out of the hate for homosexuals, and could have done that. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think that.
I mean, we don't know. What I'm saying is the type
Yeah.
of person at that time, they didn't like them. Those
Well,
people.
I think he would done it because his attraction to necks. I don't think it would be.
Oh,
Okay,
out of-
now
out
I
of-
hate
I feel the same
homosexuals.
way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that could
think
be.
he didn't even know that they probably was.
Yeah,
a
I
man
don't think so
until
either.
he got
until
them
he
in the
got there.
sexual situation, and then he's like, "Oh, you fucking fool me."
Yeah, and then I seen I seen the interview
Mhm.
where they talked about this one transsexual that he admitted to, and when the interviewer said, "So it was a man," he was like, "Yeah, her name was." He never did say, "Okay, this is a guy."
You know,
Right.
he knew the pronoun.
He always
pronouns.
was like, "Okay, her name." She had on a short mini skirt.
Right,
She had a boyfriend. He never did say he.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
He was a freak.
So I think it was the neck thing that really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he
Neck
felt
fetish.
he felt ashamed by saying
yeah.
he.
Yeah, so he
He
just
said
said
she.
she. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in murder news, I know this is somewhat little whatsoever, but I still like to go ahead and say it. Little's final victim was in Tupelo, Mississippi. It was a woman.
Tupelo.
Tupelo. Thank you.
That's the one below.
All right, I'm just trying to do my best to try and enunciate here, but let me get forward here. Investigators suspect that his victim was Nancy C. Stevens, who was found on the side of the road in August 2005. That's the last one. But there's evidence that says that 2 years later, he was a cocaine user, and the cops back in Los Angeles found that he had possessions of cocaine. And
Yeah.
he later pleaded guilty. Back
And
to you
then
guys.
and then they said that he stopped in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
But
Supposedly.
yeah, but they didn't catch him till 2012.
Wow.
And they said there's possibly some victims between
Within that
that
era.
2005 and 2012 span
Correct.
that he just didn't admit to.
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe that though.
I think he would
Could've
admit
been
to everything.
transgender.
Again, we could
Maybe.
debunk
But
that if
like
we
you say,
need
the
to.
transgender ones. He
Well,
he
you
don't
can't
want to.
debunk every fucking thing, David.
No.
Well,
With your
I
little
mean,
computer box.
but the thing is, Jay said he didn't
His
believe it.
analytics.
He has a doubt. I'm willing to go and find out what's the doubt on the other
Well,
side. If we need
there's
to.
no way you can debunk it unless you dig him up, bring him back to life, and ask him.
Right, and,
But
and-
Jay
and-
said he doesn't believe it.
no. Well, all I'm saying is I don't believe that there's any other bodies because of certain factors. Like I said, his memory. And,
Yeah,
and
his memory.
he has nothing to lose. So why would he lie about that? you
Okay,
know?
so just like maybe it's something that he's ashamed of.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what
Okay.
that's
There
what we
may-
said earlier.
There
I
may be
mean,
some things that was too fucking sick that he was ashamed of, and that's a possibility.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? You might be one known as this killer. Hey, but how many men did you kill? Did you fuck them too?
Okay.
like he was a lady
You know what I'm
killer.
saying?
And then
He
all of a
already
sudden,
know he
not-
was gonna
not a man
die. He
came up.
didn't want that to go on his legacy.
Yeah, he wanted to hold back. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a possibility.
Well, 3 went on his legacy,
yeah. You know what I'm
officially.
saying?
Three-
That's just my
but he didn't want to admit to more.
yeah. I mean, I think that from 2005 to 2012, he was not killing. I think that what you're saying could probably hold a lot of weight before 2005. Like
Yeah.
maybe all of what you're saying
Okay.
happened before
I
2005.
feel you.
Do you think
I
like
feel
when
you.
2005 came around, he got this woman and he got her in the position, and then she just started whipping his ass. He said, "Oh, I'm no good at this no more. I guess I'll stop."
Now, I'm gonna say
That-
this.
you-
I'ma say
we
this.
laughing, but that probably did happen.
yeah,
Ego.
exactly.
That true.
He probably
but,
got away with it, but it was too hard. He was like, "God damn, that bitch damn near got me."
Right.
That
Hey,
bitch
you know,
was
I
fucking
don't
me
never
up.
like to agree nothing because I'm not a yes man, but
Yeah.
I agree with Jay on that. But I take it a step further and say that he just didn't give a damn, because if you're a serial killer, whether it's a man, girl, dog, cat, whatever, that would still be something that you would be. And the way his interviews are, he was proud of that shit.
He is
But
proud.
he wasn't only a serial killer; he was a serial fucker too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his whole thing was sexual.
Right.
Yes.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
and his story, you guys at home who who study serial killers, and what the FBI profile has it, he didn't start with small animals.
No, he
That's-
started on women.
Right.
Yes.
He
right.
started on Knicks.
Yeah,
Right. He did not
He's
start
st-
with
and
small
that's-
animals.
that's interesting, Jay, because he's totally different from
From the what the
all
Mhm.
serial killers.
But you know, he
Wow.
still probably had mommy issues, serious mommy issues.
Well,
'cause
yeah,
he was
Agreed.
abandoned.
he was born in the penitentiary.
Yeah.
See, whoa, see,
Yeah, he was born. His mom gave birth to him in the penitentiary.
But she just
Wow.
abandoned his ass.
Yeah.
And
man.
she was a whore, and she was I'm gonna say
Yeah.
whore, but she was a
I'll say it,
a prostitute,
whore.
and she was
Yeah.
a bad prostitute because she was
He
an
resented
alcoholic.
that growing up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know that sucks because see, when you say that, the first thing I think about is, son of 1,000 maniacs. You know,
you stupid.
Well,
right?
Sources say in
Wow.
Oxygen.com his father was a 19-year-old man named Powell McDowell. Now, Little would use the alias Samuel McDowell to kind of cover his tracks.
Wow.
But back
But
to you guys.
I wanted to know because in one of the interviews, he said that he was using his stepfather's car. So how the hell
I
his
heard that too.
mom wouldn't in
He
his
was
life?
just slick.
Well, the mother was. He probably knew of his father.
Yeah,
Good point.
Yeah.
Because he did have family, and when he died, like he said, he left everything to that woman that was doing the interview for him.
Mhm.
He left everything, his body, everything to her. And his family didn't want to have nothing, his actual family didn't want to have nothing to do with any of him.
he probably just borrowed a car and be like, I'm going to the store. He really
Never
going.
brought it back.
He really going. No, he brought it back.
No, he brought it
brought
back.
it
but
back?
he poked and joked first.
Yeah, because he never really talked about
Wow.
his, he
You
never
know what
talked
I'm
about his
saying?
family, like
Yeah.
the rest of his family, like cousins
The
or
car ain't in my
aunts
name.
or anything like that.
Well, see, that was the thing. Now, when y'all bring up the car, yes, there was a stepfather, some man. Man, to get vehicles, move around with no problem, and it wasn't like someone's license plate was going to a police officer's computer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't even fucking matter. At that time, you could take license plates off and put new license plates on. No one would
Exactly.
know.
Nobody
No
know the
one
fucking
knows.
difference.
Right.
But you know,
Mhm.
I kind of
The
find
good
it.
old days.
I kind of find it hard to believe that all those years passed by and she didn't have a clue or no idea that he was poking and choking.
Well, she died. She was much older, and no, she didn't know. I mean,
She was 30 years older than him.
Yeah, she
Right.
was older.
Damn, that old?
yeah, she was much older. She was basically like a mother to him, but
Yeah.
but that was his girlfriend. And remember, he didn't like his mother, so therefore he had mother issues in that aspect. But he knew better. He knew that he needed one, and that's who he chose her.
And then we talked about him being lucky and getting away
Mm-hmm.
by the skin of his teeth a few times.
Yeah,
Wow.
And I actually got a little clip of him explaining how he
Right.
was lucky. So I'm gonna play that right quick.
okay.
I was lucky in Florida. I had a dead body in the car. Got to get the choked out. Yes, and I'm getting ready. But boom, 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 blue lights everywhere. Police car and come back behind the building. He seen us parked there. I jumped out the car and tried to act like I was zipping my pants. He said, "Oh, what the fuck? What's going on over here?" I said, "Nothing." I said, "Me and my wife just got in the course." Put the damn car, looked in that window with a flashlight, I'm telling you. Shining right on the girl. She lay up there like that.
And she's
Got
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
And as soon as he was looking in there, I said, "Yeah, right here." I got his mind off. Just in the nick of time before he took a second look. And I got away like that. He said, "Well, you gotta get out of him."
Wow.
I got in the car.
Wow.
That's something.
And he said it like he was proud of it.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
you see how close he was. Like he said, he got lucky. That was
Yeah,
definitely
it's
luck.
very lucky.
You know.
And then he sounded like that was the funnest day of his life.
It was.
Like he was reminiscing about the good old days.
Right.
That's it.
Wow.
He loved that time. It was a. It's,
Man, just imagine how does a person like this exist?
It-
How is a person like this created?
Through bad parenting.
I would say bad environment too.
Bad,
Yeah, that
all
all
that
plays a
and the
part.
hardship.
maybe just
Yeah.
a bad seed, just born, just evil like that.
I don't
Hey,
think
and that's
you're
what we
born
talked
like
about
that.
on the last show.
You're not
Yes, a
born
bad
like that.
environment.
Maybe he was born like that. Maybe he was.
Some people are.
Maybe he was every all of that combined.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And
And the anger.
yes.
Yeah.
And Jay, I'm glad that you expressed your opinions on the last show about all of these factors could get into play to make such a horrible person. I applaud you for it.
Oh, thank you. Always like applauds. But here go the thing. There's no way to prove that that's the case. There's no way to say it's not. It's just an idea that a lot of situations and people are born out of their situation. Certain events in your life that sends you down that
But
road.
I'll be devil's
Yeah.
advocate to that and say that this right here, you can, you have people who have trauma in their life. You have people who, are,
It's
live their
according to how
life-
you deal with
live
that
their
trauma.
lives in institutions. You
Yeah.
have people, families turned on them. Everything,
Yeah.
everything negative has happened in their life.
Down
But
on
they
the
don't
road.
turn
and
into
they
a
don't,
serial
They don't
killer.
go and just start killing
Yeah,
every
exactly.
fucking body they can see.
Exactly.
Right.
So I get what you're saying. So there has to be a seed or something there,
in there
already, or potential.
I think he could have had a mother and a father and still would have been a fucking
Yeah,
serial
I
killer.
think so
He
too.
could have too.
I
Well,
think so too.
They didn't say anything that he was abused or anything
no,
when he
No,
was young.
no,
huh?
not at all.
So he
Just a
like,
bad environment.
Right, like I'm saying, not even in that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying in the FBI reports that he changes everything. And based on what y'all was saying, you could went left or right. There was nothing. You could be born bad or not bad. Well, we have to look at this in a different way. There is a such thing as an alpha male and a beta male. All right. And those events don't just occur to make you that way. Some people are just that way. All right. There are aggressive lions and non-aggressive lions. Okay. I mean, there are just people. So yeah, maybe these events triggered certain things in certain people, and maybe the other people that went through the same type of trauma chose not to do it because they were beta.
Okay, but wait a minute. So killing somebody makes you an alpha?
They basically took on their thing head on, strong. Right?
Well,
where
I don't agree with
the
that.
other person
agree
decided
with
to
that.
take therapy and walk away and
Because
do something else.
because the alpha would choose the alpha way,
I mean,
think
well,
and
it's-
that's the
it
way where
comes
you're gonna
down-
win.
Well, I think it comes down to aggression.
right, and that's why I use the lions in that situation because for a serial killer looks at everything like some people are born to be prey. That's just very simple. Some people are,
I don't think
stalkers.
that, Jay.
Yeah. Well,
Nah.
listen to what
Some people are born sheep.
listen to
Yeah,
every
and I
listen
agree
to
with
every
that.
every
I agree
serial
with
killer
that.
have said
So
that.
you saying
I
a
agree
little
with
ass
that.
kid is born to be a sheep? Nah, I think it's the way they're raised for them to be
The same way a
for the
gazelle
outcome for that.
is born to be
No, it's
Eaten.
not born to be eaten.
by a lion. It is not. Is what you're telling
In
me.
a lion's mind, it's born to be eaten.
And
in a gazelle's mind, it's born to live and run.
Okay.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying with a serial killer. In a serial killer's mind, right? Some people are
Or
born to be eaten.
eaten. Okay.
Right.
I feel you.
That's
I feel you.
and I'm just trying to explain that to
I
you.
feel you. And then I just don't. I don't think the analogy of the beta and the alpha, because the alpha is gonna, even if it don't involve violence, you're gonna choose the way that's best for you.
And I just only say that to say there's two types.
even if it's saying,
David, can we get
Hey.
the facts on alpha, because I don't see
Well,
it.
I think an alpha male gonna
I
take
can tell you the
control of a
facts on the-
situation.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
the effects on the alpha because you talking to the alpha.
I feel like I'm an alpha.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
You're talking to the alpha. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have, you might choose the road where it don't involve a fight. That's part of being an alpha.
In other words,
Can I
you're
get some
choosing a
facts? 'Cause
decision
I don't
that's
feel like
benefiting for a group or society that's best for them.
Exactly.
Okay,
Or
that's
for
exactly what I was going to say.
Or for that person. Yeah.
Okay, all right, go on.
And then I hear what Ego said about that seed being sowed. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? And then I believe what Jay said. That
Sometimes circumstances.
that the circumstances, but maybe there's that little seed
That's all
there
A motive.
and a mixture of, okay, you got that seed, and then you got what Jay said. You got this mom that
complex.
did something, made you kiss her ass or something.
Or maybe
You know what I'm
craved it,
saying?
but you're having a negative defense mechanism. You're doing it evil instead of something that's caring.
Yes, yes. And so maybe a combination of both of those
Yes,
creates a person like this.
of course.
Because I know we all, well, I ain't gonna say we all, but I know me and Jay been through. Me and Jay could have been serial killers, but
Well,
we not.
I
You
do
know what
want
I'm
to.
saying?
I do want
Well,
to.
we ain't gonna admit it on the air. You know what I'm saying?
Undisclosed. I will say
Yeah.
this: there are times when you know, and I know this is getting off topic. There are times when we are given an opportunity to be alpha males in temporary areas, but the way that I see it, and guys, this is just my perspective, okay?
Okay.
I see it as this guy had a perfect opportunity to be.
It's a look in your eyes
Yeah.
that you
Yes.
can see.
Yeah.
that, yeah,
You know
done
a
been through
killer when
something.
you see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you and I both know it doesn't take an alpha male to kill a woman. You know,
Correct.
It
Exactly.
don't.
It
It
doesn't
don't.
that
take
is
an
a
alpha
fact.
male to
Still-
beat a woman up.
That is
Yeah.
that's a fact.
Usually
That's a
those
fact.
people
That's a
who
beta
beat women up
a
and do
coward.
those
Yeah,
type
that
of
is a
shit,
beta.
Yeah.
another motherfucker will kick their fucking ass.
Right. Yeah,
You
you're
think
100.
so?
You know,
Yeah.
you're
If
100.
The motherfucker who beat a woman and shit like that, another man will most likely kick that motherfucking man's
I
ass.
don't think so.
And that's-
I don't think so.
That's me.
And that's a
That's
fact.
a fact.
That's a fact. What you said too, Kevin,
Mhm.
because being able to see a killer's eyes.
Mhm.
Because I done had people come to me back in the days
Mhm.
that was scared of somebody that was associated to me. Like, man, I see it in their eyes. Please talk to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they knew they was a killer.
Right.
You could see that.
Well, you can also tell, you know, it could be any type of normalized, but if somebody stares or glares at
No,
you,
no, no.
you know,
Nah.
it could.
It's just-
I'm not
it's
saying
just
it
like-
is. It could,
No, I'ma
but it's
break it
not
down.
direct.
No,
I'm
well,
a-
I'm telling you from experience in the neighborhood where people get killed and shit
Right.
in
It's
the
a
hood,
difference.
not where
It's
you
more
come from.
like-
It's not
Yeah.
a look that you can give on
A
TV as an
persona.
actor.
It's not an actor's look or something.
Nah,
it's
it's
something
just
you
like-
just.
The
It's
darkness in
really-
the eyes.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's not even that. It's the energy and the vibe that you give
Yeah.
off.
Thank you. That.
You know what I'm
That's it.
saying?
That's it.
It's the
And like-
eyes. Yeah.
And
It's
it
the
be in
energy.
the eyes. It
Yeah.
be in the eyes.
Well, there's a saying, and there was even a book, but it's called the eyes are the windows to the
Of the
soul.
soul.
Exactly.
So,
Right,
right.
Yep. And so there you have it. I do believe that not in the Victorian era, you had all these different things going. In the beginning of New York and Chicago time, guys building mansions just to kill people and get
Yeah.
away with
Right.
the shit. You know, it's the time and the era that breeds these particular things that happen. So when you have this era and then you have this one child being brought up and bad things are happening to him, his mother's doing this, his dad's doing this, all of these things are happening, he lashes out. That era covets that serial killer.
Well, let me ask you this, Jay.
Mhm.
Do you think a guy like that can exist today?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And,
I don't think
and-
Oh,
and-
we got an
so.
opposition.
I gotta hear this.
well, tell me why.
You
Give
wanna
me-
know why?
Mhm.
I say that because with the new laws and shit
And technology.
and all that,
And security.
probably one kill, you'll probably get away with that, but that second one, they on your ass.
Okay, well, let me say this.
I'm gonna debunk
Let me
it.
say this first. Okay, few of us on this panel been to jail before,
Mm-hmm.
and we go to jail. We see guys make fucking beautiful inventions out of coffee creamer,
Yeah.
toilet paper.
Whatever.
Ramen
Wood.
noodles.
So I say that to say humans find a way to get around everything.
Nah, of course. When we say that, we talking about Sam Little here.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, here go the
Exactly.
thing.
I don't think nobody in this era can go on a 50-year spree.
Yeah.
Okay.
100
May I?
40.
interject?
I'm gonna say 40.
I kind of think it would be easier if they.
I'm
I
finna
don't think
show
so.
him how.
But
I'm
I
finna
could say this: murder is probably the easiest crime to get away with.
Well, hold on. I'm not gonna say that. Let me attack what you just said. I just told you that each era creates a killer. There has never been an era that did not create a serial killer. This particular era now, we have Instagram, we have Tinder.
Yes.
That's
we have,
why I'm saying it ain't.
and that's why I'm saying it's much easier.
Just think if the
No.
killer used the technology to
They're
his
using the
But
technology
advantage.
technology
towards you.
still will get
That-
you because if you go on Tinder and you meet a date and you go pick her up, it's still a trail.
A
on
trail.
that
That's what I'm
phone.
saying.
When
That's-
she
Man,
jump in your
not
car,
necessarily.
her
Not
phone and
necessarily.
everything is like
No, sir.
If the killer uses the technology to his
the
advantage,
VPN to wipe out any conversations and do things and use it to
Hey,
his
so-
advantage. We're
so
not talking
this,
about someone to
Jay,
say, hey, let's go over there
Jay,
and let's do
he
just
this.
gets
not
to-
too long ago,
he
we had a
gets to-
conversation about how the government is able to tap into shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think they'll be able to?
No,
no.
I don't think so.
man.
Okay, just think this guy. Just check out this guy. He gets to scroll through his victims.
Mhm.
He gets to pick his victims.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And let me tell you this here, right here.
He gets to offer $40.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But there are people that literally pick a state, and then in that state, right, on the internet, they pick a state every year. And they all meet up in that particular state, and they get right there on what is it called, the coffee place,
Starbucks.
Starbucks, and they sit out there, all different VPNs, and they tear up every fucking thing.
Yeah,
they
that's
tear-
called the black web.
And you that's not the black web.
That's not
No,
the dark
it's
web.
not
It's
the
something
web.
like that. It's
But-
something
but-
like
but
that.
here
If they
the thing.
come and
No,
hack
it's
some
just
shit.
hiding your
They hide
IP.
everything, and they do it every year, and they have not one person has been caught. And they,
Okay.
so you get what I'm saying? They're using technology to create something new. This new world that we live in right now, buddy, is going to create a serial killer in this era, and it's probably already happening. And we're sitting
And
here.
we don't even know it.
You know, just last
Might
night,
be one in this room.
right? Last night, I watched a TikTok video of this kid in the tub with bruises all on him, and they was typing this stuff about help me. Today, I woke up today, and they took it off the air. They took it off. Well, we've seen multiple videos pop up, and the FBI is trying to find these people, and they haven't.
You seen that on TikTok?
Yeah, on TikTok, and you go to your
Really,
thing.
Jay?
Okay, and you go to the news
You know
thing.
you can go to jail for that. Huh?
Right, that's what I'm saying. You go to your.
I'm talking about you
What, going for what?
having that on your phone.
No, they're
It's not
putting it
child
up.
I'm just
porn.
fucking.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
No, it's not. It's not porn. It's people begging and showing things
Yeah, I
and asking
know.
for help, and you can go to the
Nah,
thing.
but you know what?
and
Now
look,
that I look at it, it's kind of hard. It's like a 50-50 chance.
man,
Because I seen something on Instagram like where all the cartels and shit have somebody lined up and they'll get the shooting the shit out of him.
and
they
chopping
don't-
them up, and no
Yeah,
one
type
going to
shit.
jail.
Yeah,
That-
so
but it's
yeah.
easier. Each era creates a new serial killer. So to think that there's not going to be one, you're crazy, man. It is going to be a newer, a better, however you want to size it
A
and make it
different
good.
type of
Yes,
serial
a
killer,
different
let's
type of
say.
serial killer. Yes.
So
Well, is there any era or climate that serial killers don't exist?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't think so.
yeah.
I don't think that
You
could
don't
be
think so?
possible. I
I was
mean,
gonna say that.
I don't think that's possible. I think if
But
you are,
Alaska will be easy too.
well, yeah.
If there's
I mean,
no internet,
Dispose of the
then,
body in ice.
no, if you are hypothetically with people that don't even speak your language,
Did he say Alaska?
he did. He
Kevin
did.
said.
No, you could still get away with murder if you're in a deserted
It'd be
area
better
like
in
Alaska.
When I
Alaska.
said climate, I didn't mean like the weather. And shit.
Right, I know.
When I said that, I meant like you said climate, right? That's
Yeah,
what
I
you
did.
said. And I
did.
know you didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
But just think about it. 6 months of darkness and 6 months of lights.
Well, I'm not talking about Alaska like
No,
that.
I'm just saying.
What
you
I'm
said-
saying
That's
is
30
there.
days a night.
Yeah, what
that
I'm saying
movie.
is there any era or
A particular culture environment that
culture environment
that this would
that
Culture.
wouldn't produce
a serial killer.
serial killers?
Today, no.
No. Okay.
I don't. My belief, I don't believe that to be a thing. I
Well-
think that there will.
Well,
in
let
every
me
era,
ask you this, Jay.
Mhm.
Would you say doing Sam Little, doing his era
Killing
when,
spree, yeah.
doing his killing spree, would you consider him a bright serial killer?
Bright.
Right.
Smart.
As
As
you
in,
mean,
like smart.
A smart serial.
Smart. Very
yes.
smart.
I would
Yes.
have
Look
to
at the
give him
body
that.
count now.
Yeah, yeah.
We talking
Very
93.
smart.
Well,
Very intelligent.
here's what I'm saying.
I would call him sneaky.
But what
Sneaky.
the FBI
Okay.
the FBI put out a thing about serial killers, right? And
Yeah.
this is just bull crap that they've always said about crime, right? That the killers return to the scene of the crime to relive the fucking crime. You know what I mean? Well, to answer your question, yes, I would say he was very bright. He was smart because you know what? He didn't do that. He fucked you over, dropped. Ground
Just
and
look
just
at the look on
drops
his
it.
face, man, alone.
Yeah.
It looked cool. Like
No, there
taking a
wasn't nothing
cool
cool
shot.
about that look right there.
Yeah, he was
Okay,
pissed that he
cool
got
shot.
caught at
Yeah,
that point.
wasn't nothing cool about that look right there.
You know, but we, like I said, this was Sam Little, guys at home. This man, people out there exist.
And it seemed like we could keep going for a few more hours. on
Yeah,
this.
for real.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna come back with another one, but this guy was probably the greatest, and we're gonna give you. I mean, I don't want to say that like that. Let me change that. I like to, I like,
Interesting.
I
The
like,
most
I like to give.
prolific.
I like to
Most
give.
prolific.
Well, not
Yeah,
that. I
prolific.
like to give details about the killings, but it seems very disrespectful to do so when we're talking about these serial killers.
But he was a choker.
Yeah, he was just a
Poker.
choker. That's like where we leave
I'm
it.
a choker.
Choking
Right.
the poker.
I'm a
Poker.
poker.
Yeah.
I'm a masturbator.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I'm an
But-
assault
but-
maker.
I'm a Ned Groper.
Okay.
So here we go. Guys at home, just remember this, man. In every era, you know, society breeds a certain type of animal,
Yeah.
which that animal will come to show himself. And this man was breeded in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That era produced this man. We're gonna have another era, you know, 2000s, you know, the 2020, you know, 2020. This new era will breed another one. So
Yeah.
I just don't know. Would he be sitting next to you? Would you see him on television?
Possibly.
You know,
I hope not.
would you go to school with them?
Possibly.
We don't know. You know,
Could he be holding a mic, wearing glasses?
Possibly.
And a
you know.
Houston, Texas hat on
just
Possibly.
with Tascam earphones.
right.
Possibly.
Just you guys at home, man, love each other. You know what I'm saying, and you know, be thankful for the time that you do have with them.
Before you kill it, Jay, I just want to say that, okay, we played these videos and y'all were able to see this guy's demeanor,
Mm-hmm.
the way he thought about these women
Mm-hmm.
as fruit that he would pick,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
as nothing. They were basically shit that he would choke out, get his sexual gratification, and then the body was just a husk that he would do away with.
Sad.
So
he knew
what
they
what I
wanted
would
it.
say that we need to watch our women.
Mm-hmm.
Get off of that damn Instagram model.
Yeah,
You're not an
and-
Instagram model.
Yes, in women, y'all watch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know
Be
what I'm
careful
saying?
out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because we have
careful of your
daughters, we have
surroundings.
wives, we have mothers. You know what I'm saying?
Sisters.
Sisters, daughters,
nieces.
all of that.
Okay.
And this guy would prey on them and poke them and choke them like it wasn't shit.
Facts.
So all y'all motherfuckers that think y'all Instagram models, you taking the picture backwards with your butt at the camera and shit.
One
With
to jump in the
Tinder,
one to
yeah,
jump in the
Twitter,
flash ride, and all of that.
Facebook,
Exactly.
MySpace.
Just think that there might be a Sam Little
Looking at your page.
looking at your page,
Waiting on your ass.
You never know.
waiting for your ass.
All
You
right.
Please,
know what I'm
ladies,
saying?
use the block button.
All right. So again, guys, we love you. Until I'm JH.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson.
Anchorman Dave R. signing off. Please be safe, ladies.
Repeat offender ego.
The weatherman is back.
And
The kid that did some bullshit.
and we'll see
That's
you
my
guys.
son back
yeah,
there.
We'll
Proud.
see you guys next time, you know, on the Urban Paranormal Podcast. We out.
Hey.